Well, we'll do some brief history here. I met you, Paul, I believe it was it 2018, I think it was, whenever we were working together?
Right after I moved to Nashville.
And I had retired from music, and I remember you played some songs for me, and I remember thinking it was really good, and then I sent it to Elizabeth Gregory, and then she had said to me, this is really good stuff. You should play with them. And so it really was a cool situation, and then we obviously got together, and before we even practiced, we had some shows booked, packed shows, opening up for the Gin Blossoms. So all of a sudden, I remember there was a moment where it was like, oh man, we've got to be a band now. We have to get together and start rehearsing, and we have to be a band. And I feel like that's an interesting way to start playing with people, but I think it's kind of like the best way because there was this pressure that we just had to be great.
Yeah, well, I mean, it had to work.
Absolutely. And I remember that very first show we did, Gray Ring and Candyman opened up for the Gin Blossoms at the Fillmore in Charlotte. And I remember sitting backstage feeling like I was going to throw up, but also thinking, man, we've never been on stage together. And there's a lot of people out there. So if we suck, I guess it's going to be public knowledge.
It was absolutely trial by fire.
And I remember that moment where we started playing.
Everyone.
Matt wasn't nervous at all. He's never nervous.
If Matt's there, we'll be fine.
I feel like I remember there was a feeling like we were playing those shows, and I remember there was like a moment, I think it was maybe 3 shows in, we played it in Orlando, Florida, and there was like a moment on stage where it just kind of felt like we'd been a band for a long time. Like it didn't really feel like we were a brand new band by any means.
Yeah, that Orlando show was special. I mean, that was the moment I was like, the 4 of us doing this feels really, really right. Yeah, that was a special show. I will never I'll never forget that one. That was good. Zach Zink, the sound engineer who we brought with us, that was when he reunited with his now wife.
Yeah, that's right. Because I see him at Kroger all the time, and I always remind him of that, and I make sure he thanks me every time because that's how he got his girl back, was that show.
You would do that, Andy. You would.
I just like to be thanked, But we've got a brand new Christmas song we're premiering, and I was really pumped. Whenever you guys told me, obviously in 2020 it's been so tough to honestly even see each other yet along to get to play shows or to do anything really. And so when you told me you had a song, Paul, that you wanted to put out and wanted to record it, and it was like we got to do this quick, I was already excited before I even heard it. But tell me some history behind the song because it's a very, very special Christmas song, and I'm super pumped on this tune.
Well, I was just sort of sitting there with Chris, and then she will give you the history on it because it's her idea. She was the seed on that one.
I think this is just how things come to be for us. We sit, we have conversations, and we were having dinner and some wine and talking about traditional Christmas songs, and I had said, it can't be that hard, and then I said, in a year where I can hold you near, I look up at the sky and it's so clear, and he said, well, have you written one? No, just that's how it could be. It could be that.
Yeah.
And then he said, well, let's go upstairs and let's record that. And so we did, and within a few days, it was all done. And the most lovely part about these types of things and how they come together is that we sent it to Matt, and Matt heard his solo and found himself in it, and it was very instinctual, and I'll let him, talk more about that. But it just came together with such ease because I think we all saw ourselves inside of it very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love capturing, we did it at County Q with Mike Purcell, which is always super pro. I feel like kind of bad. I always talk about Mike and I always say he's super quick. But I never include that he's also super amazing and puts out really, really great stuff, especially considering how fast he gets it done. So it was cool to go in there in a day and knock out the drums and knock out Matt's guitars and leave with already kind of an idea of what it was going to sound like. I think that was the perfect way just to capture that moment. I feel like just jumping in and recording it and just living in the moment, I think, is the most important thing. Otherwise, I feel like we would sit too long with it, So I love just getting it done and just getting it ready,
Yeah. The concept was to make it a song, and I think the fact that it talks about Christmas is one thing, but I think it talks about a larger idea of just that emotion of not being able to be with the person or people that you would like to be during during this holiday in particular. But Mike Purcell at County Q, consummate pro. I love everything he does at this point. So I'm a full-on fan, super fan of County Q and Mike Purcell. And I think really and truly the best aspect of this was just the people involved. And, Andy, I sent you the song and you totally made it your own in terms of, the drums. And Matt is my guitar hero. So I always, I don't think there's a moment that I don't write something and immediately hear Matt playing on it. So, it was a beautiful thing to come together so fast, and I know that I'm excited about it.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm super pumped about it, and I can't wait for us to have to get together every single year and play it on like SNL or something when it becomes the biggest holiday smash of all time. The Home Alone of Christmas music. Some people are calling it the Home Alone of Christmas music, and by some people I mean me. I'm totally kidding. I'll edit that part out too, so it doesn't sound like we're being too exaggerated. But it is a special thing, and honestly, too, just to see you guys and just to be in the same room. I was lucky. I played some shows in July, so I've got to go play some shows this year. But that's still been 6 months. So the fact of just getting to get in a room and hang out with you guys. There was a point, Matt, whenever you walked in and we saw each other, it was it just felt weird. It was there's Matt in real life. He's not just a text in my phone right now. I was a little taken back.
Yeah, it was. The whole thing is special. Like the Parkers are saying, everything came together, and everybody's having a rough year this year. But it's when they called and said they had the song, and I heard it, and just immediately it resonated as this song is special. And like Chris said, the solo came almost immediately. And I couldn't wait to get together with you guys and knock it out. And I think that other people will find it special too, because I think it really does speak to this year, and and also just kind of timeless at the same time. Yeah,
no, absolutely. And I can't wait till we get back together. We can actually play some shows and maybe play it live. I think that'll be amazing.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
This coming July, we'll play This Christmas wherever you want.
Exactly. Well, let's get into this premiere right now. Brand new stuff from the Great American Canyon Band. Feature me on the drums this Christmas on 102.9 The Buzz, Nashville's